What the fuck? Well, I just arrived home. I'm in Malibu number 1, and it looks like Malibu number 2 just arrived. Alright, so the second Malibu has arrived, and I can already see we have a slight problem. Not too bad, I guess. It still has air, it's just low, this front tire here. And like I was telling you guys earlier in the video, or yesterday's video, however I decided to edit this one's tires are not the best, actually. The tread is very low, and that's probably the first time ever I've had that happen with an AT&T car. But I knew this when I went to Copart and checked both vehicles and inspected it. So not a big deal, I guess, but obviously it's not going to help it sell as well as this one over here, which has new tires. And it's funny because this one looks so much worse initially, but now you look at it, it looks great, and this one doesn't look too good. We'll clean it up. It's actually pretty clean. The same typical paint flaking issues that they always have, but not too bad, about the same as the other car. It's a little more scattered on this one. Like I was showing you guys at Copart, they just took a sticker and stuck it right over the AT&T. Didn't even bother with the spray paint. Now I know this one's battery is dead as well, and I'm not so happy to see that the window was down a little bit because it rained pretty hard last night, but it might not have rained where the car was. That doesn't smell like it did. Just double check here. I did jump start this one at Copart. Now we're dead. So this one's a little bit dirtier on the inside. Now you remember this Malibu had some mechanical things going on. It was running fine. It did do a slight knock almost when it started, but again, it's a car that's been sitting for a while, not out of the ordinary. Then that quieted down, but it had a couple of service lights on. It had the brake light on, it had the ABS light on, and the check engine light. However, I think as we drive this vehicle, most of those should sort themselves out. It's probably been sitting just as long as the other one had. This one definitely leaks oil, and you can tell by all the oily soot everywhere, all over the engine bay and the hood. And it looks like it's the valve cover gaskets that are leaking, which is not terribly uncommon on these and just about any car this age. Otherwise, it looks comparable to this one. New alternator, new power steering pump, I think, or maybe it's just very clean. No, it might not be new. Serpentine belt's been changed. So this one has a lot of good things going for it. The one concern I had when I looked at it was that the surge tank here was low or empty. I couldn't really tell. Still can't tell, it's so dirty. I don't know what that shit was I just touched, but this one's not quite as nice as this one. However, the price was right. Well, there's something in there, but I don't think that's, I don't know. I'll top it off and make sure that's all right. Check the oil one more time. The oil's definitely dirty, but it is at a safe level to start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up the jumper cables from this Malibu, and I'll have this Malibu revive this one. Hopefully this battery isn't as dead as the one was in this Malibu. Let's see if we have any power here at all. Ah, look at that. Might not be enough to start though. No, but it's getting closer. All right, so I left the Escalade on the Malibu for a few minutes. I did not expect it would start, but it did. And the engine didn't do that crazy knock this time, which is great. I just missed it because, like I said, I didn't think it was going to actually turn over, and it did. Get the typical piston slap, 3100 piston slap. Aside from that, it sounds great. So I'm going to let that run for a few minutes, let that battery charge up some more. All right, so first drive of the Christmas tree light Malibu, with all of its service lights. That front tire is a little low on air. It's not low enough that it's going to damage the tire. Well, I'm not too worried about that anyway because the tires in this car are junk. But there's a gas station right down the street that I'm going to go to and air up that tire. I'm just going to drive very easy just in case. But again, it should have enough air to get us over there without ripping up the tire. I might pull over in a second just to make sure we're not riding directly on the rim. But we'll figure out if this car has any mechanical problems, aside from what it's trying to tell me. So far, everything feels good. This is making some weird squeaking noises. Could be the brakes. Again, it does have 2 brake lights displayed. But it's driving fine. The steering's tight. The transmission, I mean, I really haven't been through all the gears, but let's see, that was second. That's third. Transmission shifting fine. Service engine light probably has to do with something stupid like an oxygen sensor or whatever. Obviously, I'll look into that. I have a code reader. And the brake lights, I'm assuming I have to do whatever's squeaking in the front. So not a terrible fix. Otherwise, this Malibu's in nice shape. The headliner's perfect. The interior's pretty decent. I believe the AC does not work in this one as well. I remember we had tested it at Copart. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, right now that feels cold. Or cool, I should say. But it's about 100 degrees outside, so if anything cool is coming through those vents, it has to be the product of AC. Huh. It's getting cold. All right, now that that tire is filled up, we don't have to drive so gingerly. We can see how this thing's running. Shifting smooth. Everything feels normal. So again, I don't think that check engine light is anything to fret over, but I do need to make it go away in order to sell the car for top dollar. And the struts don't feel too bad, actually. They're definitely not new, but the ride's smooth enough. It's not going to deter anybody from buying the car. You're not popping or clunking. All right, so I just came out to Malibu number 2, the 136,000 mile Malibu. And as I predicted, now that I've been driving it, I drove it a little bit earlier today, no more check engine light. And I don't know what that beeping noise is. Both these cars are equipped with, oh no shit. Pardon my language, I didn't even notice. This has the exact same mount that one did, except this one's missing. But, huh, none of the Malibus that I've ever bought before had that. All right guys, so here are the 2 AT&T Malibus. I'm not sure where I left off on videoing these cars. I've been very busy, but I've been driving them for a few weeks now. They've both been fantastic vehicles, which is no surprise. They always are when I buy them. I get so attached to these, I even want to sell them at the end. But due to my move, I do need to sell them. And if I haven't talked about that move in a video yet, I'm not sure if I'm going to upload this first or a video about the move first, but if I haven't, you'll hear about it soon. But these cars are unfortunately going to need to be sold. Maybe I'll keep one, but we'll see. So you can see they both look fantastic. I did my paint touch-up that I do on these Malibus with just a white can of, a rattle can I should say, of white spray paint. And because of the age of these vehicles and that GM paint job that doesn't really, well, you can see it still has a lot of gloss to it, but you don't really notice it. There's a lot of areas that I touched up. For example, the roof up here. And I know it's, you're supposed to flake a little. I did flake it off, and a little bit more is flaking off. Of course, there's much more professional ways to do it, but this is about 10 minutes with a rattle can. And again, the people buying these cars are buying them for basic transportation, not to be show cars. So it accomplishes fixing the paint, making it look better, and obviously protecting from rust for at least a little while. But you can see big difference from cleaning them up, touching them up. Now there's no more areas where the paint is flaking off, and they look great. These cars look absolutely fantastic. I haven't even cleaned the interior on either of these cars. They came in very clean. I'll give them a light cleaning. I haven't even put them up for sale yet. Again, I've been driving them and enjoying them for the past few weeks. I recharged the AC in both, and both systems are working perfectly. They were just very low on Freon, which is strange. These Malibus have came a long way from when I bought them. You remember both of them had rough paint, service lights on the dash. This one was covered in mold. It had the rusty hood. Remember, I put the Gorilla Tape up there, and now both are running great, looking great, driving great, and I'm happy to see that. So I hope these cars get a good home. I'd love to keep them, but I would probably have 20 of these things by now if I didn't sell them, that is. So that's the final update on these, I suppose, unless I end up keeping one. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for more AT&T car videos. These are not going to be the last ones, believe me. But just very happy to see how far these cars have came. And it's always cool, her and I driving these around together, the matching Malibus. I feel like I work for AT&T or something when we roll in. I'm sure they don't appreciate that, but they took their logos off. I'm not impersonating anybody. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for the next one.